Hey friends, I just got done doing the live feed, and honestly I really was not going to do one, but I already had my light hooked up and my tripod, and I figured, hey, what the heck, let's do it. So we're going to sum up what I've done, and let me explain. This is the bottom section to the Dragon stove, the Sierra Dragon stove, and I was using it last week, and I put my hand under here and I noticed it was extremely hot by the battery. And I didn't want the battery to overheat and explode, and a couple of people did mention that in the comments section. So what I did is I made an external battery pack for it. Here's our input, and I saved enough room to put a USB port later on down the road. Eventually I want to put a rechargeable battery in there and some electronics or a circuit board so I can hook my solar panel up to it, and it'll charge up the a AAA battery. Inside, and you can watch the video on this, there's actually two AAA battery holders, but I only used one side of it. And then I made this extension, and basically we plug it in here, and then on the stove base I went ahead and put another port right there, brought the wires around, put a little heat shrink tape on there so it wouldn't ground itself out, and then I hooked it up to this little guy. And now we've got a battery pack, and I'm starting to think a little bit later I'm going to go ahead and put a button switch on, and then a USB port, and then the solar panel will go in there. I can turn it on and off with a button switch, and this thing works freaking great now. Alright, there you go. This is a little summary of what I've been up to and what the live feed was about. Howdy ho friends, I want to give you a update on the external power supply for the Dragon Stove's turbocharger. This here is the Gen 1 version, and I've pretty much Frankensteined it together. As you can see, it's still working awesomely great. But I took what I learned from this design and incorporated it into the Gen 2 series, which is right here. And if you notice, we now have a dust cover for the power port to keep everything out of there, such as water, dust, and mud, and whatever else we get into. And yes, we got the switch in there. The other thing I've done is in the Gen 1 version, we had the dual AA battery holder. In the Gen 2 version, we now have a single AA battery holder. And I've upgraded to these power cables right here. I found a bunch of them on Amazon for real cheap and picked those up. Now this one here, I just got done building tonight, will be shipped off to Tim so he can use with his stove. And I put a little packet together for him along with the external power supply. He's also going to get this little packet right here on with the extension cable and the input port for the side of the turbocharger. Now we're going to do a little quick sneak peek and reveal. This, friends, is Gen 3. You notice we got two ports, bigger switch on the back. This is really cool. I'm still working out the math for the electronics to go on the inside, but flip the switch this way, the stove is now operating off its battery. And like I said, I'm still working out the details, but now we've added a solar panel, and theoretically when you plug it into this port right here, you flip the switch over to this side, it runs off the solar panel. And let's demo that real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Unplug this little guy, and we'll use this one. So this port is for the solar panel. Then you flip it over, it runs off the internal battery. Or you plug the solar panel in, you flip the switch the other direction, the solar panel will start charging the battery. And I know I'm still going to have to work on electronics, but there's going to be a diode in there to keep it from discharging when there's no sunlight. Also probably going to be a resistor or a voltage regulator added at some point in time. So I just kind of wanted to give you a sneak peek of what I've done. And this too also has the dust covers on it. And we'll put that over to the side. So here we go. We got the Gen 1, the Gen 2, and now the Gen 3. And I don't think there'll be a Gen 4. I want to demo this real quick. Okay, we've got the blower for the dragon stove here down by the river. Yes, it's still flooded. And here's the Gen 3 power supply. And we'll turn it on. Stove is running great. Now we're going to one-handedly attempt to hook the solar panel into the power supply. And get some sunlight. Like so. We're getting enough sunlight. There we go. We're 100% running off the solar panel right now. See it? That's the solar panel. That's the battery. Back to the solar panel. Now this solar panel, the voltage is fine, but the milliamps is not high enough. I'm pretty sure that's the problem. Okay, just to prove that we're 100% on the solar panel. Whirlpool just opened up right there. All right, we're going to unplug the solar panel from the battery pack and go directly into the stove. All right, we're 100% on solar. Just wanted to share that with you all. There's been quite a few changes to this unit since the last time we've talked. So much so I decided it's time to start labeling the ports. Right here we got our solar schedule. Oh, I screwed that up already. Let's try that again. Solar charger input port right here on the side. We've got our output port that goes to the Dragon Stove's turbocharger. And this right here is a solar panel in that bypasses the battery and just goes straight to the turbocharger. Now, there's going to be a Gen 4 version of this unit once I get all the electronics worked out. I'd like to thank Rob G. He's been helping me with this project, and I've come up with 2 circuit panels that's going to help control the voltage. But that's going to be another video later on down the road. Alright, so we're going to crack this little guy open, and you can see it's a wiring freaking mess in there. So we have our battery double sticky taped to the lid right here. Now, what I've added that's been 100% new is, if you look right here, this is our solar panel input, comes into the diode, goes into the switching mechanism, and I can either use the solar panel to charge the battery or run the stove, which means now we can eliminate this port right here is where the solar panel loops through to the switch unit and bypasses the battery. That's going to be one thing that's going to happen. And also I need a little bit of space here for the circuitry for the voltage regulator. Alright, so let's see how this thing actually works. So we got our stove right here. We're going to plug it in. And first thing, we're going to plug it. Okay, we need to get this out of the way. We're going to plug in our output port right here, and this is going to go directly to the stove. Stove's turbocharger. You can see it's running great. Now we're going to use the Gen 1 power supply, which is this little guy, and he is going to be our solar panel. And as you can see, our solar panel in is working, and well, that battery's got more juice, and then the external battery is working, so we're going to take that out. Now we're going to pull this battery completely out of the mix, like so, as it flops on the floor. No big deal. That's probably the last time we're going to use it. We're going to take this, and this is representing our solar panel, and we plug it in, and you can hear it going through the diode. And no matter which way you switch it, it's powering the stove. Now I want you to listen real carefully. We're having a little bit of a voltage drop problem. Alright, so we're going to go straight through there, not using the input port for the solar panel. And listen. Okay, now you know, hear that tone. Now listen to this tone. See, there's a definite decrease in the RPM of the motor. What that's telling me is it's taken a lot of milliamps to power, basically a lot of milliamps to power up this diode. So I think we're losing around probably 0.04 or 0.02 milliamps, which means we're going to have to switch over to a Scotty diode. That's something in the future. All right, now the purpose of the diode, and I'm going to show you. We're going to reverse engineer some stuff here real quick. I need the battery that just flopped on the floor, which is right here. We're going to put this little guy in. We're going to plug our stove in. The purpose of the diode is so it doesn't backfeed and drain our power out. But if we take our leads here, short across the diode, like so, our stove comes on. So the diode's doing its job. We got it wired up properly. All right, the next thing I want to do is we're going to go ahead, and this is some of my old Goal Zero rechargeable batteries. That's all I had laying around right now. And I want to put this in the, and we're going to take out the battery that's in there and put this in its place so I can do some testing tomorrow. Right now we've got our meter on, and I am making a mess. Okay, here we go. Let's see how much juice I'm creating. No, oh, 0.2. And I'm going to quit screwing around. We're going to try to see how much juice is in this battery. Yeah, hang on, Scott. Scott's getting a little anxious. So we are at 1.3. So this battery is fully charged. What's the battery inside of the unit? 1.4. Alright. We're going to swap these little guys out. And tomorrow, I'm going to hook this up in the sunlight after I drain the battery tonight. And let's see if it runs the stove first. Okay, it is running the stove. Tomorrow, I'm going to drain this battery out tonight and then try to recharge it with the solar panels. And let's see how much they're doing right now. Just off of the ambient light here in my office. Well, that's not bad. We're doing about almost maximum output, 4.5. Huh, impressive. Alright, but that will not be enough power to run the stove, or the blower for the stove. Alright, anyway, I keep getting sidetracked, friends. Sorry about that. So tonight, I'm going to drain this battery down, and tomorrow, I'm going to put it out in the sunlight and see if we can charge it. Another thing I wanted to do was put in an LED. One problem with that, you cannot fire up an LED on just, put that little guy right there, on just 1.5 volts. It's just not going to happen. We'd have to build up a step-up circuit to increase the power to do that. But maybe I can put it on the solar panel side so I can see when the solar panels lighten it up. But there's another problem by doing that. I might start losing the milliamps to charge the battery. But the minimum voltage it takes to turn this LED on is going to be right about 2.10. Let's see, I'm there and there. And there it goes. So if you can see that little guy right there, that's the minimum voltage it will take to turn that guy on. Alright, I've rambled enough. Hi friends, I was hoping to take the power supply for the Dragon stove outside today and see what it would take, or if it even would charge up with the solar panels. But unfortunately, it is cloudy today, and I'm having one heck of a time draining the freaking battery. I'll show you why. Because the motor here, if you see that little guy in there, only pulls about 0.04 volts. And that's not a lot. So it's going to take me forever to drain that freaking battery out. There we go. Anyway, Remember last night I was talking, I wanted to find a way to get an LED to light up when I plugged the solar panels in. Well, I did. Let me explain. It was out in my front yard the entire time. I have these solar panel LED lights out there. They're very cheap ones you can buy at the dollar store. And I'm thinking, well, the LED in there is only 3 volts, but the battery is 1.5 volts. How did they do that? Well, they built a step-up circuit. So I dissected the little guy, took the circuit out, did some mods to it, put in my own wires, and it's connected here to where the solar panel input is. Then it's connected down, I want to see, right over there where the ground wire is. And then the other 2 wires right there go to the LED, which I probably should have hot glued in, but I didn't. I just melted some of the plastic to hold it in place. And of course now on the Gen 4 I'm going to do it a little bit more professional, but this one is pretty much Frankenstein. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's prove it. Boom. There we go. Just using an ordinary light. And as you can see, the LED comes right on. And what's happening is a step-up circuit is taking the voltage from the LED and bouncing it up. Well, actually, the voltage from the solar panel and bouncing it up and turning on the LED. Alright, there's a little update. I finally got the LED to work. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have enough sunlight where I can actually see if this will charge.